Hi everyone. Today I have two lists for you to that I'm going to review. This first one is from Claire in Kentucky, where she's taking a. Sorry, I actually don't know, but I assume that Claire is a female name. She's taking a she's taking her list to a tournament at the Patton Museum in Fort Knox, Kentucky. So, and she is a little worried because she's taking quite for an American meta, quite a high order dice count list. So we're going to have to look. Sorry about the cut here. There was something going off in my kitchen. We're going to have to look and see if there are any insights I can give her as to what to do when you have high order dice counts. Maybe especially in an American context, because we all know that in America they typically have a smaller order dice count than we do in Europe. So let's go and check out her list here. Right, 20 order dice, 1,000 points. 20 order dice is high. It is. And at that point, you do start to worry whether the order dice themselves are too weak to stand up in a fight. But the main advantage of having a high order dice count is you get the order dice when you want them. So what I'm going to look for is units that actually benefit from having that many order dice, that you often get them when you want them. And you have so many units that, especially in a pin game where you pin down opponents like big chunky Death Star units, you have the units to spare to do that. So that is what I'm going to be looking for. 1,000 points, you spend every single point. I like that. Junior Lieutenant inexperienced, yes. I would normally take him with a submachine gun, but a rifle might also be possible if you're going to go the route of just delivering a lot of pins at range. Mounted recce squads with flamethrowers, 2 of these are really good. They need brain carriers, of course, to leave one soldier behind in. A commissar, again, this is what you can do with Soviets, right? Another mounted recon, so that's 3. This is a barbecue list. I like that because barbecue lists typically do well when you have high order die counts, because you want to be able to have the last order dice in one turn and the first in the next one, or be pretty likely to do that. So you can push them up and then go out and flamethrower something. Strafbats, unarmed Strafbat. Remember that the unarmed guys can't actually fight as per the rules in the army book. So ask your TO whether or not that has been changed, because it is changed in the FAQ, but it does not trump army books. So, but these are very cheap and they can be backline holders. And having a few rifles in there, I like that, because that means you can still deliver the pins that you want to be able to deliver. I mean, look at that. Shirkers and everything. Brilliant. Inexperienced free rifle squad, always take those. Inexperienced medium machine gun, not necessarily worth it, but it is an extra nice order dice and it is very cheap. So use it as a small infantry team. Don't shoot with it unless you absolutely have to. Just use it as a small infantry team that goes onto an objective and sits there, holds it, goes on ambush. Inexperienced medium mortar. This is really MSU, isn't it? I mean, yeah, you have the 3 units here that has a lot, but the rest of them are 5-man units or smaller, all of them. Inexperienced dog mines. These are going to take out the enemy's tanks. M30, yes, take that, because that is going to root the enemy out of his strongholds. If the enemy castles up, this will just sit there shooting every second turn. Remember to have your lieutenant close to it so that you do get to roll those rallies. I have seen even very good players have 1 shot per game, not per turn, 1 shot per game with an M30, simply because they failed their rally tests. Horse-drawn limber, again, inexperienced. Yes. And then here comes the BA-20. Nice. That is flamethrower number 4. This list is well thought out, well constructed, has the high order dice count and the flamethrowers that you need the order dice for. Love this setup. The T-34 though doesn't really fit into the rest of the army as such. If it was an OT-34, yes, that's a little bit more expensive, but that again would be a Death Star on top of all the flamethrowers. I mean, that would just be awesome, wouldn't it? I don't think you have the points for that though. I can't see where you should cut down on any of this. I think it all works fine. Do you need the medium anti-tank gun? No, I'd say. The problem with the T-34 here, and I know this is different for an American meta, but the problem is it's got one shot with its main gun, and it's got a coaxial MMG and a hull-mounted MMG. This is against infantry the same as a Panzer 38, the Czechoslovakian Panzer, which is 130 points. So you're wasting 60 points on a lot of armor that, okay, it might save you, but you're not very deadly, right? The killing power of this tank is not that great. And you have reach to 60 inches. But, I mean, your dog mines are way more deadly than the medium tank here to enemy tanks. Especially because you're pretty likely to get pinned by the enemy's tanks. They're going to shoot at you with heavy autocannons, light AT guns, whatever they have, and they'll pin you. And you might fail the test, and you're going to need an extra lieutenant to get him going again. So I'm not a massive fan. I have to say that. I'm not a massive fan of the T-34. It's a Death Star, and a Death Star, you do have the order dice to get it moving and get it to move when you want it to move, but it's just not very good. Brain carrier? Yep, these are for the 3 brain carriers for the mounted recon guys. Love those. Inexperienced though. That's a bit of a risk, isn't it? Of course, the mounted recon guys will shoot the pintle-mounted LMG, so that goes away and stops being inexperienced because they're shooting it. But, okay, yeah. You are saving a few points. Is it enough? I'm not sure. Could be worth it, though. Could be. And you are pushing up. Yeah. I think this list is really good, Clara. I think this has real potential. So good luck at the tournament in April, and yeah, that was the first one. The second one here is from, who wrote that? Let me just see. That is from Thomas Hood. And Thomas, let me see what he writes. He writes it's something new, and I can be as rough with him as I like. Okay, let's go. Let's see if Thomas has made something that's really bad, so we can critique it to bits. Let's. 17 order dice, 1249. British reinforced platoon. He calls it smash and grab. Okay. Inexperienced second lieutenant. SAS infantry section, 5 men with anti-tank grenades, veterans. Why 5 men? Are these going to sit in brain carriers? I think they are. Double 5-man SAS sections. They've got fanatics, they've got tough fighter. These are really good actual close combat fighters, but they're not as of a size where I see them as close combat fighters, which is interesting. Wonder what he's doing. Free forward artillery observer, another 5-man SAS section. 110 points. I think this could be cheaper for some of the same capability. If you're just going to sit in a brain carrier, I think this is overcosted. Vengeance. Good one though. I like it because you're not running Assault Blitz here. You're running something else. So Vengeance is way more worth it. Medium mortar, get yourself a spotter for this one, or cut it down to inexperience. One or the other. Sniper team regular, peer team regular. Yep. A SAS armored Jeep. Yeah, this is lovely, isn't it? It's got frontal armor, so it counts as being armored in the front. It's got an HMG forward-facing, 2 rear-facing LMGs, and a forward-facing Vickers K. The main problem here is that most of the time you're going to have to run up and turn the side to the enemy so that you can shoot out the back machine guns and the front machine guns at the same time. So that's the main problem with SAS armored Jeeps. But it is really good, and that's a lot of machine gun shots coming out of that one Jeep. Transport Jeep for the Piat, I guess? Yeah, that's for the Piat. A Chaffee with Recce. Right? Why doesn't it have Recce? It doesn't say here. A medium anti-tank gun. A Chaffee should have Recce. Something's off here. Anywho, that is going to hurt. And then he has a second platoon. Ooh, if you can take a mix of normal generic reinforced platoons and theater platoons, that turns it into something really interesting. So SAS Northwestern Europe, yeah, here we go. This is the platoon that can always outflank, even though the scenario says that you can't. SAS Lieutenant, veteran, very expensive. But here comes 5-man SAS, 5-man SAS. Anti-tank grenades not needed at all. And then SAS armored Jeeps, 1, 2, 3 of those. Yeah. These are going to surprise some people when you come in from the outflank, as are the SAS armored Jeeps, because an HMG in the flank or the rear of a Darker Stewart can absolutely kill that Darker Stewart. It's not very likely to do so, but it can, and it has happened to me. So I really like that, and you can like throw all 3 of them down behind the Darker Stewart and just pop HMG shots into it while you're spraying everything else. This is a nice outflank that you have, and this first platoon can take on the enemy head on mostly. It can't survive for long, but it is there for a time. The infantry sections though are very weak and small, and they are not sitting in anything, so yeah, they'll not contribute to anything other than going down and maybe trying to move up a little bit. I really like the vehicle fleet for these lists, so yeah, this is a really interesting one, and I'd like to see SAS Northwestern Europe. It's a really good theatre selector. Thank you so much for the lists, both Claire and Thomas here, and good luck to you both. Cheers.